Hello, this is Shaun Nordlie, Community Manager here at Hemlock Farms. Going to start with the election. Those letters should be getting into your mailboxes very soon now, so take a look for those. That'll have all the details on what you need to do to register to vote online. Also details if you do want to do a paper ballot. We do still offer that. There is a cost to that, but if you still prefer that, you can do that. But there are some actionable items there. You have to submit that to our Judge of Elections ahead of time, and there's some dates there for that. But make sure you keep that letter so you know what to do to get registered online, and then come July 11th, once the voting opens, you can get back on, register, and vote at that time. So again, look for those letters. They should be in your mailboxes very soon. And also want to talk about Meet the Candidates. That's this Saturday at 3 o'clock. We're offering that in person at the Conference Center. It's also going to be on Zoom. That link will be in this e-blast. Also, we're doing Facebook Live there also. So we have 7 candidates this year. They all have the opportunity to an opening statement, a closing statement, and then questions for each of them. So hopefully it won't be too long of an event, but hopefully it'll also give you a good idea of what those candidates like about Hemlock Farms, what they're running on, and get to know them a little bit better before you place your votes. I'm going to talk propositions now, and this week I'm going to talk Proposition 2, which is Bylaw Article 6, Section 4, which is purchases. So, and again, for a bylaw change to take effect, the membership needs to approve it with 2/3 of those that are voting approving the bylaw change. So Section 4 deals with purchases, and the big section for this, big part of this, is the performance bond, and whether we need a performance bond or not for all of our projects. And what we're doing is changing the language so that it's going to be based on the project itself. For the mailroom, we get a performance bond. One contractor, $700,000 project, so we have a performance bond. For the pavilion, $450,000, but 3 phases, different contractors, so we did not get a performance bond. We did hold back 15% of the pavilion cost until that was done and approved by management for that project there. So we don't need a performance bond, obviously, for the purchase of a vehicle on the out of the reserve, but something like the wall that had to be replaced at the clubhouse, that might be worth having a performance bond for. So this is going to be a decision that we make based on what the project is, cost of that project, and how many contractors we're working on. So, but this is a policy, and this is one that we're writing policy for this in order to get this ahead, so that we are not going to get rid of performance bonds, but there are certain circumstances when we need them and when we don't need them. So that's one of the changes there. Also, the use of committees with each of our projects. We have some projects that have to go through committee now, that committee really doesn't have the expertise or the knowledge of that project, but because we have to go through that committee, we do that. We have currently the recreation committees working, saw the RFP for the filter parts of the pool, the indoor pool at the clubhouse. It's not really something they have expertise in. Our recreation director, Jesse, does though, but we're still going through committee. What this is going to change for, now that we're tasking our committees with certain things every year, if it's a project that we want the committee to be involved with, we can task that to them and they can be involved with that project. A couple of examples of where we want committees involved. Public Works Committee is working on exploration of an additional well, and that's something that will be coming to the Board of Directors this month to approve a contract to look into that. But that's something we want the committee involved with. We want to take that information back to the committee, discuss it, and come up with a recommendation for how we should proceed with well exploration, and if additional well could be added to our water system. We've used committees for the refuse center and for garbage, the pickup, curbside. So the committees do great work for us with the tasking of the committees and giving them specific things to do. That's how we want to use this, and that's what that change in this committee, in this bylaw is for, so that we can use those tasks and the committees when we need them to use their expertise. At the June board meeting, I'm going to give an update on the dams and where we are with those. I've been working with our contractor, trying to get closer to alternative analysis for this. We did meet with DEP in December. Still waiting on some information from them, but in the meantime, we are moving forward with trying to get to alternative analysis, which is basically our recommendation to DEP for what we should do on our dams. And what we're talking about is McConnell Dam, Hemlock Dam, and then Lower Hemlock Dam. And at the December meeting with DEP, we did make some suggestions to them. One of those was to have Lower Hemlock built up and then basically be the dam for both Hemlock and Lower Hemlock lakes. In concept, it's great because we're only dealing with one dam. Certainly makes sense for Hemlock. We wouldn't have to deal with a second dam. But DEP did say that we can't do that. You can't have one dam taking care of another dam like that. So they did give us some options, though, some ideas that we could work on, and that's what the contractor's been looking at and trying to make adjustments from that. So at the June meeting, which is on the 27th, during the manager's report, I'll be giving an update on that, what we've been working on for Hemlock Dam and Lower Hemlock Dam, and also McConnell, and then get an idea of, still waiting on DEP, as I said, but at least a little better timeline on when we're going to start work on the dams and when we can expect to have construction on these dams. Over at the mailroom this week, the vestibule was constructed and today with our sliding doors there. So if you haven't been over there, check that out. But the vestibule is now completed. Looks great. Those doors are going to be wonderful. So enjoy that. And thank you for your patience during construction. With that area, we did ask members to go to the side door for a couple of days just to stay out of that construction area, so thank you for that. Also over on Forest Drive, Zappy's been talking about that, but they are putting those head walls in. It's a 60-inch culvert basically, so suggesting that people stay away from that area for a few days into next week while they get that taken care of. But if you do have to go that way, they do have traffic control there. They will let you through. You just might have to wait a little bit. But that's a big part of that project and a big part of just what the work that's being done on that road and some of the inconvenience with that. So thanks again for your patience with that. Moving forward, though, with all of our projects and getting closer to being done and wrapping up on all of them. June issue of the Hemlock News is now out, so make sure you get a copy of that. They're available at the mailroom, also at the administration office and the clubhouse. It's a big issue. We've got the election insert. It's got bios on all 7 candidates, also all of the propositions. Articles in there also on those propositions to help educate members, so make sure you get yourself a copy of that. Read through it. A lot of good information on there. And more information on the website too with the election and the propositions. That's all I have for this week. Check out Zappy and the Digging Deeper video. Hemlock Hangouts got everything that Rex got going on, and it's busy time obviously for them. That's all I have. Everybody have a good weekend. Take care.